currently on a 57-city tour through the US and Canada. Fresh off the drop of their fourth album, Glory, this band has shared the stage with Pearl Jam and the Rolling Stones. Joining me is Jay Emmons of the Glorious Sons. Hey Jay, how's it going?
I'm good. How are you?
Pretty good. And you guys are currently on tour. So this started at the beginning of October and you don't wrap up until mid-February.
Yeah, we actually started at the top of September.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, that's when the US dates actually start.
Oh, okay. Well, I want to congratulate you guys coming out of the pandemic with a really awesome album. I'm just sorry to hear that you guys were kind of put through the ringer by the universe when it came to the Live Off the Floor in Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of factors that went into it at that time, and it all kind of worked out for the best. I think we were trying to make a record in a way that we hadn't done ever before. We were really busy with touring and trying to squeeze in these studio sessions, and we weren't gelling with the producer that we were working with. Everyone was worn out. Brett had some kind of weird head infection. So I was just like, we got to pull the plug on this. We got to rethink this and take a minute here.
You got Frederick back as a producer, right?
Yeah, so we went and called Freddie back, and it was just like we'd never even kind of stopped working together. We just got right back on the horse, and everything just fell into place, and we tracked what you hear as the record Glory now in about 2.5, 3 weeks at Brett's place.
Is that in Kingston?
It's just outside Kingston on the lake, yeah. It's a beautiful little spot. It's kind of like, I describe it as like a hot tub time machine kind of lake house vibes, you know?
That would be a great song, a hot tub time machine.
Yeah.
So the cover of that album, rumor has it that picture was found in a wall?
Yeah, the story goes, and this isn't my story, this is Brett's, but okay. He was helping his buddy renovate an old house in Hamilton, and they were breaking down these walls, and then inside one of the walls was this newspaper clipping, and that picture was on it, and Brett just kind of became enamored with it and was like, I don't know if he still has the actual picture or he took a picture of it. He just knew someday he would use it for something, and that ended up being the cover of Glory.
Okay. Is there someone named Glory, or obviously Glorious Sons, and there's a song called Glory, but is there anything else about that title?
I think it's kind of like us, stepping out of the pandemic, a new beginning almost in a lot of ways for the band. That's kind of what it means to me.
Let's go back to the pandemic. Were you all separated, or were you able to get together and make some of this music, or were you sending stuff over a computer to each other? How was that working?
We really didn't follow much of the rules, so we just got together all the time and made music
when
we wanted to.
Yeah, in person. Well, I think...
Yeah, none of that virtual studio stuff. I mean, for me especially, I can't speak for everybody, but it's about, that connection that you get with people, real people in the room together and feeding off an energy, that you can kind of create together. I'm sure some people, have had success and over Zoom calls and whatnot, and Zoom writing sessions, but it's just really not the same as being in person.
Right. So on this tour, you are going to be doing a home show in Kingston for New Year's Eve. I know a lot of people excited about that. You've got a lot through Ontario, but out of all of these dates, 57 cities, where are you most excited to visit?
A lot of the American stuff is really fun still because we're still exploring and developing down there, and every day is a different thing, so you never really know what to expect when you get out of the tour bus and you start walking around these places. From a general kind of personal interest side, touring in America has been really, really fun this fall. And then, obviously the shows in Canada are much bigger and a lot more fun as far as, the number of people that are out, and the energy we get from our fans, and having our home country support the band. Places like Winnipeg always show up for the Glorious Sons. We were there a couple Mondays ago, and it was just an incredible energy in that arena. That's probably the best one, and then Edmonton and Calgary are great. The Kingston show, I'm sure, will be great on New Year's. There's a lot of additional pressure and stress that goes into those ones for some reason.
Right.
And I'm excited to get out to the East Coast as well, because we don't get out there too often, but it's a lot of fun out there, and it's just a good vibe. I really like it there. So Halifax will be fun. Charlottetown will be fun.
So how are you guys traveling? Because you're touring in Canadian winter.
We're on a tour bus.
Okay.
We actually have the band's on a tour bus, and then we have a crew bus as well for all the crew guys.
And you've never had to like postpone a date due to weather?
We had to pull off the other night in the middle of the night in between Thunder Bay and Sudbury, because apparently there was just like whiteout conditions, could not see a single thing. But we haven't had to cancel anything yet. Even historically, we've managed to drive through some pretty dicey situations to get to the show on time.
Well, we're crossing our fingers that the rest of your tour doesn't have that happen, because you are going until February, showcasing tons of songs off the new album and playing, well, I shouldn't say old, because I mean, our favorites are from 2013, 2017, 2019.
Yeah. I mean, that 2013 is like almost a different lifetime ago for us.
It's a decade ago.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty old.
You know what? There's some music that's a decade old. It gets put onto the oldies station.
Yeah.
I remember when that happened to like Nirvana and Stone Temple Pilots and Pearl Jam.
Yeah, and that's classic rock now.
Yep. And that'll be you, maybe next year, with your 2013 stuff.
You know, hopefully, you know, we can stay relevant for a while.
Oh, you definitely
longer,
are with this album. Glory is really cool. What's your favorite song off the album?
I really like Glory, the track. I like You Stay Young. What else do I like?
What's the most fun on guitar to play?
Cellular. Actually, I'm gonna re-answer that question. Cellular is by far my favorite track.
And that's the one about your grandpa?
Song. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a cool story. And the way your brother writes things is just,
I know.
Like, you can see it, you know?
Yeah. He's one of a kind. The way that Brett can kind of tell a story and paint a picture and kind of bring you into his world and make it feel like your world as well. You know, he's a great songwriter.
Yep, definitely. And then you guys putting all the rest of it together. So how does that come about? So he writes lyrics and then you guys get together and put the music to it? Or does he have an idea of how the music goes when he comes to you with it?
I mean, for this record, we had worked a lot of the songs up in Nashville together in rehearsals, basically. And then half of that got thrown out. Maybe more than half of that got thrown out. When we brought Freddie back in, him and Brett just have this connection. So, like, Brett will show him an idea, and all of a sudden, Fred will get excited about it, and they'll start jamming on it. And then we're all kind of just in the room trying to feed them basically like raw materials, if you want to look at it that way. So I'll have a guitar riff, and I'll be like, what do you guys think about this? Where's this going to fit in the song? And, you know, Peter will be working up a bass part, and, you know, it all kind of comes together in a really weird, eclectic way, but it's definitely driven by Brett and Fred. Everybody else is there kind of to support and try to kind of really feed that inspiration further.
Yeah, well, it sounds awesome when it's all put together and comes into this album, Glory. Everybody, you got to check it out. Go to your platforms, or can you get it on vinyl?
You can get it on vinyl for sure.
Cool. All right.
Yep, I think on our website.
Okay, so check out the website. You can get the tour dates there too. And Jay Emmons, thanks so much for taking the time with me today and talking about the album, the tour, and best of luck with the rest of it.
Appreciate it, and thanks a lot. We'll talk soon.